Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jeremy, founder of quickmail.io.
Hey, this is Jack, Chief Lead Generation Officer at salesbread.com. Got a question that I want to talk with you about, Jeremy.
Awesome. Hit me.
All right. How do you prepare for a sales call from somebody that you reached out to by a cold email? How do you give yourself the best shot at having a great call that's going to take the deal towards the next step or maybe even close, right?
You're telling me I need to prepare. I can't just like wing it, come on a call and just say, yeah, who are you, by the way?
That's a good question. And we'll get into that. Is winging it an option? I would say probably not
Could
if this
be.
is a newish company, a newest position, unless you're, absolutely master level at understanding your prospect and your product, what have you. But
Or
I
you're
think
selling
there's for
crack.
the rest of us, yeah, exactly. For the rest of us, there's probably a little checklist we can run through to nail our sales calls, and it'd
Sounds
be
good.
interesting to go through it together.
Yeah, I love
But
that.
first, we got to hear from our sponsors. Otherwise, they're just going to cancel us because today most
True.
B2B companies lack the time or expertise to turn those cold prospects into warm sales qualified leads. That's why at salesbread.com, we're going to bring you one lead every day, Monday through Friday, by sending ultra personalized cold emails and LinkedIn messages on your behalf. So you don't have to worry about copywriting, personalization, outreach strategy, follow ups, list building, and everything in between. So if that sounds interesting and you'd like to grow your sales pipeline, head over to salesbread.com, check out some of our content, get up to date on what's working right now, and maybe book a call and we'll chat. Salesbread.com.
Oh, yeah. And if you think you can do better than Jack and you want to do it yourself, you could always try with quickmail.io. It's a fantastic platform for doing cold outreach. You'll be glad you do it because your deliverability will be safe with us. And yeah, we've been doing it for almost like 10 years. We should do a big yearly, something and when we reach 10 years. But we still have a few months to go there. So we'll see what we'll do. Don't know.
All right.
Any suggestion, welcome podcast.quickmail.io.
There you go. I love that. All right, Jeremy, you want to put our famous 10-minute timer
Oh,
up on the board?
almost forgot. Thank you for
Look
reminding
at
me
that.
that.
Sure thing. Okay. And so as we get going here, um, should you wing it, right? If you have a prospect come in, I really think we can all do better than winging it. And
Yeah, but it takes effort, right?
it does take effort, but if you're serious about having a great first call, then it pays to put a couple of these processes in place. And look, you'll see I'm not doing rocket science here. I'm just getting familiar, trying to deepen my understanding before we actually start. So,
Okay.
what's the first step? I like to understand what got this individual to give me their time on a call. Okay. And that means
Fair.
reviewing the outreach copy that they responded to. Okay. And starting there and understanding what was the goal of that email. What was the thing there that hooked this person? And so look, if the email talked about a particular feature, you're going to make sure to lead with that, or at least put it on the agenda for the call. If it mentioned that this was like something that would fit your budget, or there was something unique to this particular vertical, that's your in. And step one of research, know what they're interested in. Number two is take
Oh,
a look at
hold
the
on.
reply.
Hold
Yeah,
on. I
yeah,
have
yeah.
something to say. True story. I actually received some, when I first used QuickMail, like almost 10 years ago, I used it for myself to reach out to financial planners, receive a response saying like, great, let's jump on a call. I had no freaking idea who that person was. What campaign they responded to, what I actually even say in the campaign. So obviously that makes sense. Just review the material you actually sent them. That could be the third email in your follow-up. That could be the first one. So
Yeah.
definitely good point.
Okay. Yeah. I think we've all been there kind of like sweating a little bit. Okay. Who is this? Remember. But right. So the next thing I'm doing after I review the message and the replies, I review the person. I want to know what their role is. I want to know, um, like, I'm trying to think, okay, so if they're head of marketing or their operations, what are they judged on at their company? What are their KPIs? And more importantly, how does this thing that you're selling assist them with that? How does it help them get more of what they want. Right. And that's going to help frame the conversation. If it's a chief financial officer, their main goal may be to save the company money. And if that's the case, you know how to have that conversation. And it's different than appealing to the CEO who just wants to grow the company, right? So know what they care about. I cut you off last time.
No, that's fine.
Keep
I was
okay.
thinking even before actually they go on a call with you, I will, as part of the checklist in a sense, is I will send them a personal video, right? So to sort of prep the meeting.
I
and
like
it could
that.
be a bit like you review things, say, oh, they're very interested in, I don't know, water warmer, whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, just wanted to quickly, send you a quick video to explain you that, the agenda will be, touching about this, why, X, Y, Z.
Yep.
If you really want, this is what I planned those 30 minutes to be about. Do not hesitate to send me something, if you want, me to add something to the agenda, and I'll make sure, everything's prepared. So when you jump on a call, then I will also prepare us, because sometimes people just want to know, like, hey, what's your pricing or stuff like that. Like, thing they could actually answer outside of the call. And sometimes you just want to, like, okay, let me change my strategy based on what they're actually looking for in that call.
I like that. I think that's wonderful, but I generally try not to influence the agenda too much. I want the prospect to tell me what they're coming here with, what's going on. And then, I've kind of borrowed that from you as well. Like, I know we like to see where this fits into their story, what currently is going on, and then going with them down that path. But so I may modify that a little bit, as opposed to saying like, hey, I'm going to, here's a video and the agenda is X. I may say like, hey, by the way, I know you were interested in the auto warmer. Here's a quick one pager that just kind of shows details if you want to nerd out on it a little bit before we meet. Otherwise, definitely happy to go through this with you on the call. And that way they've just got it. And you've grabbed my item number 6. So
nice.
We're on the same page. So the last thing is I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're reviewing the person. What are the KPIs? How do we help them get more they want? Next, I'm going to look at the company they work at and see, as a company, we can go off in tangent and say like, what industry are they in? What I make this really simple, Jeremy. I just ask myself, are there any similar companies that have become clients of ours that might be a worthwhile case study to share?
Ooh, I love that.
Some part during the call. And that's about it. Like, some people say, go to the about page, go to their like company Twitter. I haven't found a whole lot of good on that. It's kind of weird to force yourself to mention a tweet that the company made. So for that, I'm just like, anything cool here I can share from industry peers without maybe risking oversharing. That tends to be kind of helpful. And then I'm kind of done as far as company research. But I wanted to, before moving away from the person and company research, I have one more thing I want you, listener, to keep in mind is you're also doing this to find similarities that are going to help you build rapport with this person. So I'm actually curious, Jeremy, because I don't know if you do this. I know you're like very much to the point and like, let's get to it. Do you spend 60 seconds, 90 seconds doing any kind of like rapport building?
Yeah, it's the sort of American way I got used to, which is basically I use that for, hey, I'm calling for Switzerland, by the way. Where do you call from today? I was like, oh, no way.
Okay.
Either I've been there, or I was like, oh, I've never been there. And if I've never been there, I just ask like, hey, how is it over there? Like, should I come? And usually this is a good, good thing. Like, people like to talk about where they are, good or bad, so it's a good rapport building. Perfect. I like it.
Simple, but don't overdo it. And like, one example from this research I saw that somebody I was going to jump on the call with in a previous career was a professional golfer. I thought that was pretty cool. So I said, hey, I read you were on tour for a while. You got to tell me, like, at some point, I want to hear more about your golf career. And usually they go off on a tangent. They're really pumped up to share, and you listen. And I love to start a call like that. So that's all you're trying to do in that. And with 3 minutes left, I do have a couple more things on my checklist.
Me too.
Perfect. Then hit me. You go, Jeremy. You go. Sorry, you're like, I'm going to lean on you for this one.
It's pretty close to the one, but even if I ask them, I like to know where they're going to call from, because different countries, different different culture,
So
different way of
worldly of you, Jeremy.
different
So
things of.
worldly.
Yeah, I know it's weird. But I do like to do that. Just so also I'm not very surprised. Maybe they're in the morning while I'm in the evening, or we are sharing the same time zone. Those sort of things are pretty
Interesting.
important. The other
Okay.
thing I will do is a tip actually is that depending on how much do you value one of those calls, right? If you're valuing at like $90, whatever, then okay, maybe not. But if you value it at maybe like $500, $2,000, whatever,
5,000.
yeah, you could definitely afford having a virtual assistant or someone, just compiling stuff for you, right? It's a simple thing. You could have your sort of like spreadsheet. This is the thing I want to know about it, whether it's a company like you mentioned, or, where they're located, who is the person, what their title, whatever. You can have that
Yep.
compiled by someone else for like, $10 or whatever, and then off you go.
Love that. It's saving yourself a bit of this research, right?
It's like podcasters when they interview people, what they do is like the research is done by someone else actually, but that's the sort of things. Process.
Not Howard Stern. Howard Stern, he's famous for doing, like, if he asks an author on a show.
I'm sure he's a great person.
He's like a big radio personality. Anyways, 1 minute 25 seconds left. I have a little like dumb trick that I do, and I'm so happy I do it because it actually helps out quite a lot. Is before the meeting, I'll connect with that person on LinkedIn. I'll say, hey, looking forward to our chat. Let's connect here.
I love that.
Why do I do that? Why do I do that?
I love that hack.
It's not really to like chat with them there before we talk. It is in case I need a little bit of a push to get more like response down the road. I love being able to chat them there. Hey, we still good? And highly recommend doing that. That one is too easy and it pays. I only have one more, so if you want to jump in.
No, go for it. I'll try to figure out if I have one more.
Check this one out, Jeremy. See if you like it. If you are not meeting with the business owner, or I take that back, whoever you're meeting with, I always like to ask, Samantha, is there anyone else in marketing or blah that you would like to invite to the call? Maybe they're also looking to X, right? Save money, improve conversions, whatever. And a lot of times they're going to say, no, we're good. It's just me. But occasionally they're going to loop in the decision maker, speeding things up so much for you. So it helps to say, just put it on their plate. And the trick is, as we come to time here, the trick is to make that person feel empowered, even though you're kind of hinting at maybe you're not the decision maker. So the way to do that,
can you
try and keep this simple. It's like this.
You have the credit card on you?
I kind of do this. I think you're going to like this, Jeremy. So you say, I'm really looking forward to our call. And just so you know, like a lot of times I'm learning that with companies around, 20 or 25, right? Just mention however big their company is. Typically when, we move forward, there's always an administrator or maybe an operations or what, like put in the title, like that has to sign off on stuff like this. Would it be worthwhile to at least mention this meeting in case they'd like to join and participate? And that way you're sort of saying it's bureaucratic nonsense. Of course, you're the decision maker, but is there anyone else that's involved in these kinds of decisions? Tends to actually not step on toes. And if you can put in 2 sentences, maybe in a PS, you're going to make your stuff up. Yeah.
Or you can try the Jeremy way, like, is it worth to have your boss on that call as well?
I would never say that. Why? I don't know why I wouldn't say that. I just no, but I like that. And we're at time. But
all right. Awesome.
If you're good, I'm good.
Yeah. And what could people do if they want to know more?
I love that. Thank you, Jeremy. If you're here and you enjoyed the conversation and you think this actually may help out with your next sales call, it sounds like you would really get a lot of value out of course.quickmail.io. It's the cold email masterclass that Jeremy and I met in person 3 different times to produce and share everything we know about cold email, and more importantly, taking someone like your team member and very quickly in 8 weeks, bringing them up to speed so that they can run an agency level cold email campaign at your company without the large agency price tag. So if that sounds interesting, if you really want to prove validate cold email at your company and use it to grow your pipeline before your competitors do the same, head over to course.quickmail.io. See that scarcity?
Yeah, well said.
And check it out. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So we're confident you're going to love it. And at that point, we will see you there or in the next podcast where we'll cover some more stuff.
Or both. All right.
Or both. Love it.
Catch you
All
later,
right. Thank
Jack.
you.
Bye.